first match. Our next one is going to be live. I actually have no idea if the players are in the lobby. Let's see. I see.
They are.
Okay. All right. Hey.
Well,
yeah.
Not
Talk for a little
only
bit.
is this going to be a live set, but this is going to be our rematch of the SCL Season 3 Grand Finals. KCM versus KrazyCaley.
It sounds like they're ready, which is a shame because we've got plenty to talk about with this matchup. My goodness.
All right. Well, hold on. I can tell them to cool their jets.
Yeah, just a few minutes. It's a little early anyway. They're going to probably draft, so there'll be a little bit of time built in there. These two have been duking it out since the SCL began. The only time it wasn't close was back in Season 1 when Kaylee won both of their matchups. But in Season 2, they split, one win apiece. In Season 3, they tied. Then they tied again, and then they met in the finals, and Kaylee won the closest finals we've ever had. We casted that last year. So they've been deadlocked for a while. And then here in Season 4, they met just a couple of weeks ago on this very cast. You and I cast that match as well. Kaylee jumped out to a 4-0 lead, and then with sort of furious comeback, aided by some balcony games on KCM's part, and won 7-5. So these two have been going back and forth. By most accounts, KCM the best spy in the game, and Kaylee the best sniper. So it's pretty much always a barn burner.
Oh man, last time we saw these guys go, as you were saying, it went down to a single game at the end. Man, this is going to be crazy.
Yeah, it is going to be, and just KCM is developing a little bit of a reputation, albeit over a small sample size, of sort of starting slow in these and then sort of just kicking it into high gear a few weeks in and starting to reel off a bunch of things. I was the victim of one of those. He beat me 7-4 a couple of weeks ago. And I remember even thinking like, oh, geez, like, I guess he's turned on now. I wish he could have waited one more week to ramp it up the way he almost always seems to. But any part of that, I think, involves at least a point tonight. I wouldn't count him out just regardless, but there is a pile up in Diamond right now behind Kaylee. We're at the point now, and as someone in Diamond, this is so freaking stupid, where the difference between a spot in the final, 2nd place, and a spot in the hazard match, 5th, could be something like 2 points when all's said and done, or could come down to tiebreakers, which sounds just positively stupid. And one of the people kind of in that mix right now is KCM. What he does tonight is going to go a long way toward determining whether or not he's fending off a hazard match or fighting for the finals. I would say that under most scenarios where he makes the finals, he probably needs to secure a draw tonight.
Dude, Diamond is terrifying.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't
It
ever
is.
get good at this game.
Abolish
You'll be
Diamond,
stuck
everybody.
there. Yeah.
Abolish
Abolish Diamond and let all the Diamond players just trickle down to wherever the hell.
No. Anyone who achieves the rank of Diamond must stop playing other people. It's not fair to let most of them play. Except for me. You can still play me. I'm not too scary. But all the rest of them, just abolish Diamond. It shouldn't be allowed. Your reward is, it's like you reach a certain level of achievement and they give you the Lifetime Achievement Award, which is another way of saying retire. When you reach Diamond, stop playing.
Yeah, well, it looks like KCM actually hasn't quite shown up, but I think he may be getting here. He just left the lobby, so I'm assuming he's gonna.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
you know what we need? You know what we need to do? We need to create a SpyParty Grandmaster rating and just give it to anybody who ever gets into Diamond.
Yeah, and then you don't ever have to be scared again, is what I would really like. That would be really nice. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about their last draft right before they start their real one, and I think just a minute here. Last time,
KCM just joined.
Yeah. Kaylee last time banned Gallery, which makes sense. I banned Gallery against KCM too. It's a tough map for a camping sniper because no matter how good you are at camping, guess what? You can't see through the other characters, and there are a lot of them walking around on Gallery. You often have to credit things like bugs or body block swaps or other things like that. It's just really tough. It doesn't jibe with Kaylee's style. And on top of that, KCM just seems particularly good at it and seems to kind of like it and picks it a lot. So no-brainer ban there from Kaylee last time. KCM banned Courtyard. He has been very vocal about not liking Courtyard as a competitive map, too boring. And after tonight's games, is it really that hard to agree with him? So he likes to take that out of it because he wants the spy play to be a little more varied, force a little more creativity. He doesn't want to just split Courtyard with Kaylee,
Yeah.
And what's interesting
Generally
last time...
speaking, you do not want to play sniper-favored maps against Kaylee. You're just
Right.
giving him too much.
You want the variance, you want the occlusion, and speaking of which, this seems kind of backwards. Caley picked Veranda last time, and I think that was okay with KCM. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
KCM has had success against Caley on Veranda. You might remember Tobo in particular. His back was against the wall in last year's finals. He was playing a Seek on Veranda as Spy. We were saying he desperately needed a Spy win, and not only did he get one, he got one with multiple hardtails that game. You might remember on Veranda against Caley. That was a big one. So he lets Caley pick Veranda last time, picks Balcony, and goes 3-4 on it in week 5. I think we might see a really similar kind of pick ban strategy tonight.
Speaking of the picks and
let's
bans,
find
yep,
out.
I was just going to say they just started the picking and the banning, so I'm going to bring them into you basically as they're happening. So KrazyCaley starts things out basically as you predicted, banning Gallery any 4 of 8. KCM returns the favor by banning Courtyard any 4 of 7. So there it is.
2 for 2.
He basically called it.
Yeah, well, so it's funny. What is so funny about this to me is that both of them are saying, I want to play the same game. It was close, but Caley won the match, so he has a reason to want to play the same game. And I think KCM's thinking, I could have won that match, so let's play the same game. It'd be really interesting to see how similar it is. I think we might not get Modern at the end like KCM picked last time, but I don't know. I played Modern against KCM in my match too, and he played one of his just vintage Spy games where it just seems like he's invisible 90% of the time. You know, I think he's starting to get used to it. The real question is, will Caley pick Library again?
Okay. So let's see. KrazyCaley has gone on to pick Veranda, which I believe is the first time we've seen it on the stream in a while. KCM responds by picking Balcony. Those are the doubled maps. KrazyCaley picks Library, any 5 of 8. And finally, KCM goes with Modern, any 5
The exact same setup in the exact same order as the last time they played in week 5. Both of them won another crack at this.
Yep, I believe this is called, in the esports world, the salty run back, I believe.
Salty run back. Yes. Yeah, I like this. I like it. This is so in keeping with both of them. Caley saying, don't overthink it. It worked last time. I'm just going to try to grind out another close, tight victory against KCM. I've had a lot of those. And KCM's thinking, you know what? I can do a little better. I was close. I want to beat him at his own game. That is so KCM. This is so Caley. It's going to be so good.
All right, so I think we're going to hop in, and I'm going to whisper them and tell them that we are ready. We are ready. All right, KCM versus Caley starting right now. Well, you know, once the players configure and everything.
Any moment.
Any moment. I mean, oh, and as a root beer update, pretty good. I finished the bottle.
Okay.
But I realized, like, as someone who hasn't had root beer in a long time. Hold on.
Creating game.
Nope. You're on. Okay, they realized. I was gonna whisper them that they're on Veranda 5 of 7 instead of 5 of 8.
Yes.
Oh,
But they figured it out.
They figured it
All
out.
right, they got it. We're good.
Well, don't worry. I have my own 20-second root beer story just to fill the time. I once had a friend
No,
over.
we're going.
Oh, never mind.
Put a pin in it.
I'll save it for later.
KCM
It's funny, too.
on the
It's funny.
sniper, Caley on the Spy
Oh,
with that super early bug, takes a highlight for it. I'm pretty sure that was straight up scene, pretty much. KCM just wanting to be sure.
Yep, and I really am impressed by KCM getting that. You know, here comes the book cheese coming up, I think. He's going to get shot as soon as he puts this in green bookshelves. He's going to wait a little while, but he's going to get shot for it. KCM knows that Caley's Spy game is very straightforward. Oh, I wonder if Caley knows, too. KCM,
That's different.
Caley's Spy game is very straightforward. Do a bunch of stuff really fast most of the time. Dare him to catch you. And I'm just going to win 93% of my sniper games, so I only need this to work one.
Yeah.
I think he mixed it up. I wonder if the laser movement convinced him there, because I really think if he dumped that in green, KCM would have just popped him and it would have been over in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, but I think you were right. He probably realized he got highlight, he saw the laser movement and decided to play it cool.
Yeah, I think that's it. Now, that's interesting because it's really hard to draw meaningful conclusions from laser latency. But I don't know. And look, it might have just been an impulse bug.
Well, you can certainly tell when you're getting lit.
Sometimes, yeah. Time of chaos. I don't know what you're laughing at. That was a single entendre there.
There's just like...
Are you okay? Oh,
No, we're just
Now-
getting lit in here.
Can you tell when you're getting lit if you're getting high lit or the other one too?
Oh my god, I'm gonna meet you both.
So KrazyCaley is playing things so slowly. He knows how much suspicion he has, so he's just like, nope, I'm not gonna do it.
So here's what's weird about this. There are a lot of reasons to rush a hardtail and then idle. When the hardtail is a swap, maybe, or particularly a purloin, which leaves a trace, there is no trace of bug. So if he saw it, you're in big trouble, and I guess you're just trying to convince him to shoot somebody else, which he doesn't seem to be doing, by the way. He's barely watching the rest of the party, I think. Or you do something that's going to convince them to shoot. So what's the plan here? Just going to hope? Yep, you're going to green time ad and hope people do stuff.
Fair enough. Ain't nothing wrong with green time ad and hope people do stuff.
Yeah, it works on Veranda pretty well, but I really just feel like KCM is in control of this game and feels very confident. You're going to need a little help from the party. I do think Caley, though, let's give him some credit here, has correctly surmised his position.
Oh, that hurts me, Track.
A fake with the SDA?
The double agent left at the exact wrong moment.
Yeah. That might have helped Caley a little bit, though. I'm not really sure. But anyway, so let's give Caley some credit here. For whatever reason, has decided maybe not to do things, and we're pretty sure it's the right decision, whether it works out or not.
Yeah, he knows how much he has, and, like, even though this is unlikely to work, it is the most likely way he wins the spy game.
I also wonder if it's sort of just a little bit of counterplay. Caley not known for his counterplay. He's known for I'm going to play the game the way I want to, and it's just going to work because you're not going to beat me at it. By the way, I wonder if that flirt was deliberate too.
Yeah.
So we might be seeing a rare counterplay because these two have such a history. He knows he's being studied, and he might just be thinking, my reputation is I always finish missions. I rush stuff. That's what I said earlier in the game. I'm going to go the other way this time and see if he just credits me. All of
Just white swamps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at that point, it's like, I think at that point, he just knows it's not going to happen.
Well, so here's what's interesting. Caley sees someone at statues there. It's Boots. Boots is an SDA. He doesn't know that. So he thinks he's framing Boots with that white swap. But he can't, possibly. And I'm not even sure if KCM saw the swap, for crying out loud. From the sniper side, it looked like he was literally just waiting.
Yeah, you can't see the swap at all.
Yeah.
I think the only time you actually see the statue is after the shot has been taken. So not super helpful.
Wow. Yeah.
So I think we read that right. He saw the bug, he was waiting, and he shot before he even saw the swap. Caley trying to frame someone who was unframeable.
Fair enough. Sometimes that's how it goes. KrazyCaley did what he could in that game, but there was just nothing to play for. KCM's turn on the spy side. And KrazyCaley in here with his famous sniper.
Now, I think the last time they played, KCM had a Veranda game that he almost won. I think he might have played Slim, too.
Super early green time ad. It was a little bit obvious on the early leave of the conversation, but that's not the kind of thing Caley usually looks for early on. He's too busy guarding all damn hardtails.
If he's going to guard them that hard, then take what you can get otherwise. Oh, but Caley is getting lights off that green time ad. Oh, boy. I'm not sure if all these are accurate, because KCM was at Windows with at least 2 other people. I thought Wheels was one of them.
Well...
Wow.
It's certainly working for him. Strong reaction. He's got the party down to what, 3?
Yeah, that's shocking. Let me see here. No, Wheels was not one of them. So I think Morgan was at Windows, Hare was at Windows, General Windows.
And we've got Morgan Freeman, we've got General, we've got KCM, and that's it, I think.
Yeah, I guess he was confident. Hare was closest to the sniper, so I think maybe he's confident that Hare didn't watch check.
Yeah. Wow, what a reaction.
Well, we've seen this before. Sometimes we see those purloins, and Caley just lowlights 90% of the party.
Yeah. This wasn't even a mission, though.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with the decision. I'm a little surprised that Caley was watching it. I think we might be looking at more counterplay here, because, again, you're camping those hardtails. There's not as much reason to watch the time ads. In this case, though, it's almost like he was waiting for it.
KCM has a green book here. It looks like he's posturing and put it in blue. He's just gonna die, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
You're not gonna get away with
That
that.
was almost a shot! Queen's purse was right there.
Yep. There it is. That would have been a heck of a way to go.
Yeah. Wow. Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the decision. It's just really sharp of Kaylee to notice that time ad. Again, I don't know, just kind of like with the SG Nerf stuff, I don't know if it's just I happened to be looking for it. You know, maybe there wasn't a whole lot going on, so I had kind of a free 5 seconds. I noticed the time ad, and I have a good memory. Or if you're like, you know what, I think he's going to try to time ad against me a lot. I think he's going to disrespect me with the time ad. I don't know which it is. I honestly don't. Whether or not it was game planning or just good reaction in the moment. But whatever it is, the game was just over immediately. And I really want to see how KCM reacts now, knowing clearly that he got shot for something other than a mission, basically.
Sniper dominance so far as KrazyCaley steps back into the spy side. KCM on the sniper. We got Smallman, ladies and gentlemen.
So what's interesting about Smallman, it really plays into Kaylee's style so well. Kaylee's like, I don't care if I'm suspicious. I don't care if I get shot a bunch. I just need something to work. That kind of fits with Smallman. He knows he's going to be a huge suspect just by being that character. But if you can get away with enough and you've got a lot of cover on Veranda, sometimes it doesn't matter.
Oh, absolutely. Kaylee, though, starting things off with a flirt with etiquette.
Well, you might be able to disrespect Kaylee Sniper with etiquette breaks. And, you know, I'm not going to say that, you know, KCM is Bloom when it comes to etiquette or anything, or Bacon or anyone, but yeah, you can't take anything for granted against him.
34% off of that first flirt, and he's just hanging out here.
And here's something I find interesting. I don't think these are exactly statue highlights, but I did see 2 statue visitors just get dinged up there. KCM kind of notoriously doesn't just straight highlight for statues. Again, another thing he finds sort of boring and therefore not, you know, not worth doing. And he's right, by the way, that it should not happen every game. I think people become a little too reliant on them.
So Kaylee just picked up a statue, then accidentally put down the statue, and then picked up the statue again, and then lost an inspect because of it.
Yeah, and KCM didn't see it. Busy looking pretty much on the other side of the party. He knows, you know, that Smallman's been there, and that's all I think he really cares about there from that visit.
So things just happened.
Yeah, Kaylee's micro is okay. It's not great. You'll see those kind of mistakes from time to time. That's not why he wins. He doesn't win because he avoids stuff like that. You know, by the way, if you're watching this and you're thinking these are 2 of the best players in the world, yeah, they are. And look, they still screw up all the time. It's a really hard game, you guys.
85% off of the second flirt from the green test. 2 minutes left on the clock. No completions as of yet, but we have an inspect. We've got 85% on the flirt. You don't have any fingerprints yet, but that's still a good amount of progress.
It's not bad, but he's gonna be running out of time in a hurry here.
Yeah.
Increasingly, you're banking on a missed shot.
I think Kaylee's strategy here is play it as inconspicuous as possible and then late rush.
I think you're probably right, although late rush in this case might just mean a swap or a purloin, and then hope someone gets shot. But KCM, I think he's got this party pretty well in hand. I'm not sure what his highlight strategy is. It might be that he just thought that Slim and Morgan were flirting at statues, but that's pretty much all he's got. There are no other highlights.
There's that last flirt, only a minute and 15 left on the clock. I can imagine Kaylee going for a bug on the way across, and then... No, he's going for a timeout, it looks like.
Yeah, and a
green
safer
test
window.
as well. Another one, another green.
Well, that'll help, but you're going to notice 2 green time ads, especially a Smallman in the kind of the consistent...
Oh, the bug! Oh, it was so nice! Did he die? No, but he does get highlight.
And I think if he does anything else, that might be it. It was a collision. It does not look visible on the sniper side. It's just a collision. It's a collision with a suspicious character.
It was nice looking. That was a very solid bug from KrazyCaley. He's holding off on this contact, waiting to try to make sure he's as inconspicuous as possible for it, but the double agent does wind up leaving on him. Luckily, we still have 2 minutes left to play almost.
Yeah, and by the way, KCM's definitely going to notice that there's been at least 1 time ad by now.
Especially when the beeps start.
Yep.
Get out of there, Kaylee. You don't want to be suspected for a bug now.
Yeah, the worst thing is when the ambassador comes up near you after you've already bugged. It's like, what are you doing? It's like being handed a menu after you've eaten. You're like, what am I even supposed to do with this? Who could do that at a time like this?
Fingerprint at the red bookcase, so that's a start there.
I don't think Kaylee's going to get away with anything overt here late in the game unless there's a flurry of activity, so I understand him wanting to finish this.
I'm a little bit surprised he's going for the inspect here. I thought he was going to try to finish with an inspect swap, but it seems like that's not going to be the case. Just takes a bullet for it, and that is a very understandable shot.
Yeah, you have to credit him with the seduce. You know he's done with the inspect. You have to credit him maybe with the fingerprint too.
And the bug.
Yeah, you have to. I think he's just pretty sure about that bug, you know? I think it's really good. It's an inferred bug. I mean, look, this is what happens when you get to a certain level. You stop shooting just for bugs. You shoot for possible bugs, combined with suspicious behavior otherwise. Very impressed that basically KCM has won both these games catching good bugs.
Yeah, me too.
Those were not bad bugs, either of them.
No, they were not. KCM starting things out. Missing the green bookcase pad, have to sidle in there a little bit, but going for the animation transfer, very well hidden behind the cast there.
Yeah, unless Kaylee was staring that down, I don't think he's going to catch it. And it's pretty obvious KCM is determined to do microfilm against Kaylee, and he's right. Just based on our own observations, especially on Veranda, I do think that's the way you're going to beat him if you're going to.
Yeah.
And if you're KCM, even though we've seen two very impressive sniper games, he's not feeling good right now. That's not what he came here to do. That's not what's going to determine the match. What's going to determine the match is, can he win the spy game? And this, even though Kaylee picked it, I'm positive KCM wanted him to, and might have considered picking it himself if it hadn't happened. Oh, he twitched a little there.
Yeah, he did. I think he was twitching to set up that reverse drive-by, but it doesn't quite take.
A good move, good attempt. I like the decision. I don't think it was seen. Just doesn't quite take. If it does, though, oh boy.
Yeah. Second flirt comes off just barely in time. Still in conversation with a double agent here, so might be able to get his first mission completion out of this. First flirt, by the way, was another really late flirt that just barely came off. That one was out the windows, though. Third flirt, blue bookcase, and setting up to finish the microfilm transfer.
And a fingerprint. Wow.
And gets the fingerprint.
So here's
That's
the thing.
Beautiful.
Really hard to tell whether or not that was calculated. You do just discover fingerprints during a game sometimes, and it's really fortuitous to discover it with over 2 minutes left, because now, we talk about this all the time, now you can maybe plan around it a little bit.
Yeah, now we got options. This blue book is going on a trip.
Yeah, it's seeing the world. Or at least the far side of Veranda.
Stepping into conversation here. Not where we want to be, but we've got a little bit of time to work with, so this should be okay. Stepping out relatively quickly, heading into a window probably. Yes, indeed.
So you get a microfilm here.
This is probably the microfilm position.
Another? Ooh. I'm surprised we're not getting another time ad. I guess he doesn't... Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Nope.
Oh, immediately! Did you see how fast Kaylee snapped over on that?
Yep. I think he was a little onto it, but more than that, there was just nothing else to watch. There is, as far as I can tell, I think maybe one person at statues, which he's not that interested in. What's interesting is that when he went to Windows a couple seconds earlier, he did the watch check first, right? When he did that, Kaylee zoomed in on the list because someone was about to maybe take it. When he did the actual microfilm, the list was being presented to an SDA, so he had nothing to zoom in for. That was the time to do it, when the list was down with a non-cast member.
And as well as that, no cover for if Kaylee was zoomed out.
Yep. I like the decision there. I just don't like the placement.
And now we step into balcony. KrazyCaley on the spy side, KCM on the sniper after splitting Veranda 2-2.
And last time, this is what got KCM back into the map. He took 3 out of 4 on balcony.
Yeah. Now he gets it. Not any earlier, but he does get it with 2 extra games under his belt.
Yeah, this is a better position to be in. KCM not starting slow today, figuring, hey, well, how about I just don't dig myself an 0-4 hole before I decide to play out of my mind.
Yeah, that's a good call. Green flirt to start things off at a slight distance for 43%. Hello, Ambassador. How are you this day? I'm not going to bug you. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I know you want it.
Low percentage play. And yeah, high level diamond strats. Don't fall behind 0-4.
Yeah. Double Agent has entered the conversation. Now everyone has entered the conversation except for the lowlight, but Caley doesn't know that.
Yeah, that 43% is really brutal right now, though.
It is.
And I wonder if he's just determined not to finish now. 43% on that first flirt is just a brutal position to be in, and then not a really good banana bread opportunity after that. I think we're going to get one anyway.
I don't know. If we flirt and leave, we should be able to run down the flirtation cooldown quick enough to make it happen, but
you're going to be talking
happening fast enough, so yeah, I think it's going to be a no finish here, or a panic bug at 0 seconds, hopefully KCM is ready to shoot somebody else.
And look at this, he's got the party down to just a few now.
Yeah.
Obviously, now I'm a little worried if Queen does something suspicious here late, she's talking with 15 seconds left, that might get her shot with that highlight.
Doesn't look like.
Nope.
Yep, that panic bug comes off, so does the bullet. KCM starts out balcony the way he wants to.
Wasn't a terrible bug under the circumstances. Usually panic bugs on balcony are horrendously obvious. Perfectly fine again, but just the snipers are on it.
On to the next one. KCM on the spy this time around. KrazyCaley on the sniper. If that was KrazyCaley, he probably would have bugged.
Maybe. High risk, high reward. That's how you summarize his sniper game, a spy game.
Oh, that was a bug. That was a bug. It didn't take, but that was a bug.
Banana bread.
And you're gonna have trouble winning now, I think.
Contact comes off. Banana split. Just a bullet.
I think he saw that hand. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, there's nothing fancy going on there. I don't have a big problem with the decision. I still think at this point, though, the whole reason you're picking balcony against someone like Caley is you want to force him into shots he's not 100% about. When you bug, you create the opportunity for him to be sure.
Yeah. This is very true. Also, because of the handedness of the bug, it was almost just waving at the sniper. If that was the other hand, it would have been brilliant, but...
I think Caley gets it anyway. I mean, you're right. It would have been a great bug, and frankly, it probably would have worked on someone like me, but I think... You can't completely decide not to bug against him, but I think you need to wait for just a perfect scenario to think about doing it. Otherwise, force him into that difficult shot.
Yeah, this is true. Stepping into the next round here in balcony is KrazyCaley on the spy side once more. KCM on the sniper.
You really need to hold serve here. And if you're KCM, you're thinking, I had 2 chances on veranda. Yeah, that's a good early flirt. 2 chances on veranda and 1 on balcony. These are the maps I wanted, and I'm playing the way I wanted for the most part, although maybe that was an impulsive bug. I think it probably was. You're running out of chances to pick up that crucial spy win that you're looking for.
KrazyCaley picking up the 51% flirt on the first talk of the party. Spies don't usually get in that early.
And here's the problem, just the way KCM snipes, particularly on balcony, if you can 2-flirt it, you're almost always going to win, even with a white banana bread.
Yep. You do get a white contact, no highlight as of yet, but I'm sure KCM knows that the twin there was a white contact. It's the 2-flirt! There's no way! There's no way he shoots here!
That's the problem. That's the
First talk, 51%, winds up on a 2-flirt. That's the game, and KrazyCaley picks up the first spy win of the night.
So this happened to me before. When I played KCM, I basically concluded, this is something I can do on balcony. If I'm confident I can hit my 2 flirts or finish my flirts early enough, the banana bread doesn't actually matter. It's just he's patient on balcony, to his credit. In almost every game, that's a good thing. But it means a 2-flirt is almost always going to work. I banked on it, and it actually did work. We actually, I think all spies won all 4 of our balcony games, as it turned out, a few weeks ago. Yeah, I ended up losing the match, but that went basically as hoped. So when I saw that first green flirt, I thought, uh-oh, for KCM, because there's no way he's going to shoot if you hit the next one.
Yeah.
And now you're playing for a split.
KCM looking to strike back. If there's any place you want to be spying for a split, it's on balcony. But look at that instant highlight.
Yeah, now it's going to be very fluid on balcony. And it's also it's important to... Ooh, a green during the end of the talk animation.
Ooh, that was
Gutsy.
pretty.
Now, here's the question. You need to be confident that the sniper's going to notice. Some people don't, and you don't get any credit for the risk, or even you're considered to be a talker. I think Caley, though, probably notices it, and if he notices it, it's going to be much harder to shoot that character. Yeah.
Gets the neutral light. Very nice briefcase business as well.
I'm still really worried about finishing the flirt, though.
Yeah, Irish, the actual briefcase person gets low lit for the bouncing.
That's not good. Every correct low light the sniper gets on balcony significantly changes the... Significantly, because of the size of the party.
This is very true. 1 minute left to play, 34% on the flirt, not in position for another one yet. Party is not setting up properly for these flirts.
Got a red flirt to windows here, to have any chance.
Second target was sandwiched on both sides. KCM is not taking the opportunity to go with her. There's the red flirt.
Now,
Takes a drink and steps away to pick up the flirt at the windows here. It's a bit of a distance to it, and it's only a white test. 58%, we need a close green to finish this up. She goes to windows, but KCM gets into a position in the conversation where it's the highest likelihood that the second target will react to us. She goes for the briefcase!
Uh-oh, and Rocker's talking late. Could get a bullet here. I don't think she's close enough to Alice, but they were next to each other before when they both left. I don't think it's going to be enough, but it's close.
The bug!
No one's talking. Who's he going to shoot in overtime? It's got to be the person next to the amber. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Oh, he fights the shot. Are you kidding me?
No, that's actually horrendous luck for KCM, as it turns out. Look at this. I know we don't have much time, but here's the problem. If anyone is talking at the end there, he shoots them instead.
Oh my God! That's why he took so long to shoot. He was looking for a talker, and there was nobody talking.
Who could be done? Only the person next to the Amba. The Amba was the only one talking. If anyone else, even the lowlights, even if the lowlights are talking, he's almost definitely going to shoot them. Almost definitely. Literally, if anyone other than the Amba was talking, I think KCM wins that game. Oh, that is brutal.
You know,
he definitely did not see that bug.
I love to hate on Balcony for producing uninteresting games to cast, but oh my God, that was insane.
That is just, oh, what a brutal loss for KCM. So he looks like he's way behind. He red flirts to windows, gets it done. The ST refuses to come back in after that. Goes for briefcase twice, for crying out loud, in the last 40 seconds of the game. Somehow gets the bug, and nobody but the Amba is talking. What on earth?
KCM did everything he possibly could to win that game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what though.
I think Caley's feeling emboldened here. That's the kind of thing he does.
Instant swap. KCM has no idea.
I'm not sure he even saw him at statues.
He didn't.
Yeah.
Oh man. KrazyCaley, known for super early aggression, and as you were saying, it doesn't have to work all the time. It just has to work once.
Yeah, and I think there's a correlation between that and the previous game. I think he's a little emboldened by that, just kind of going in for the kill. I don't know if we would have seen that if this were 3-3 or 4-4 or whatever.
33% off of the first flirt here. Oh man, this is getting nuts.
Well, and the whole point of that swap is he doesn't know what happened, so you're not going to induce a shot. You're going to try to complete this almost certainly here.
Oh yeah, 100% yes.
Yes.
Because, like, not only was he not seen at statues, there's a reasonable chance that KCM didn't even know what that statue was. Didn't even have it memorized yet.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
KrazyCaley wanted that bug, was chasing the Amba, went for it. It was a free attempt, basically. Didn't come off, but that's fine. It was free. White Purloin.
Oh, that's how you lose.
This is how we lose.
That's how you lose.
This is how we lose this game. Gets highlit.
Now he has to do literally nothing else.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh man.
So Tobo,
really why you do this?
Since there's not a whole lot more to say about this game, let me just ask you real quick. How long would you say we've been casting together? Close to 5 years, right?
It's been a long time.
So you know how incredible it is that during a library or /pan-up game, I kind of still want to talk about the previous balcony game a little bit. Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened?
You used to cast balcony at 2 times speed.
Right, because nothing happens. I still want to give Caley a little more credit for that shot because he took several seconds to figure it out. When he puzzled out, oh my god, it must be a bug that I missed. Which, that's the humility you have to have. Even if you're as a camping sniper, the best in the game maybe at catching those, you have to have the humility to think, I guess I missed it. Well, that's a fake, but with the SDA, so that's not going to work. So to have that humility, certainly, but, I mean, you got to figure, just any talker, and we're deadlocked.
It was a truly incredible shot. Sometimes the party gives you gifts, and this time the gift was to Caley. But he still had to make those conclusions.
Yeah, he still had to do it. And another thing that's funny, though, is you don't normally see this. Usually Caley processes a little quicker, but that situation was so bizarre that I think it took a full 5 seconds to realize, oh my god, I guess a bug happened. So if that happens, well, never mind.
Yeah.
So if that bug happens a few seconds earlier, even, if it happens and the overtime is only 3 or 4 seconds, which is a long overtime, by the way, by most standards, 4 seconds, I think that would have worked too. But the stars align.
Yep. We knew that was going to happen. We knew as soon as that white purloin happened that Caley was dead.
Yeah. So KCM still has a chance here, but instead of trying to get that spy win to actually eke out a victory here in a close matchup, instead he's doing it to try to get back even.
Yeah.
Going right for the microfilm.
Animation transfer at green bookcase comes off super clean.
Not on screen at all. Looking at the left, it's a green at green.
Stepped into conversation with the double agent. No other AIs in here, really.
Oh boy, that was right on screen. Right on screen. Right on screen.
That
and he misses the pad.
The boldest bug. Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, it's the pad.
I don't know if that was for the pad or for the bug. Because
the pad was confirmed.
Looks like it was pretty clean.
Yeah, he was waiting for anything after that, and when he saw the pad, he thought, let's not get cheeky here. Before, you could maybe sort of pretend you didn't see the bug and try to shoot for something else, obviously be a little cagey, but he missed the pad afterwards. It was fine. Well, so the thing about the library is you basically just decide to crash bug sometimes, and there's a 2 out of 3 chance maybe they're not looking, all else being equal, although they're a little more likely to be looking at the AMBA. But Caley was just looking at it. The whole thing was on. It wasn't even like he whipped around and saw it. He was just looking right at that part of the screen. The path alone was enough. That was it.
6-4 is the current scoreline. KrazyCaley on Modern has 2 match points. If Caley wins either of these 2 games, he wins this set. KCM fighting for a draw on these 2 games. Starting things out, KrazyCaley on the spy with a time ad at the far side.
Let's see if we get any lowlights come off. It was a white.
No lowlights yet.
No, not necessarily. Well, that's the dead zone, but, the thing is, if you are caught for the time ad there, you have to walk so long to get away from it right away that you're going to get nailed. Oh, boy. I think that's more of a flirt pairing, though, right there.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not a correct flirt pairing.
That's why we call it the dead zone, because if you do it there, you get dead. There's the contact coming off.
A lot of low. Ooh, 5, 6 maybe?
A lot of low lights.
Not a good banana bread.
No, not at all.
And I think even missing that time ad, Caley's behind a little.
32% off the first flirt. I'm surprised that distance got him 32%.
No, I am not. Look at that. Look at that respect. This happened on Modern the last time we cast them. Remember, KCM almost shot him. I think it was Taft early, just for flirt stuff. He almost. I mean, he ended up losing the game anyway, but he almost got shot early in that game for a flirt. He has given KCM a ton of respect on the flirt pairing.
Green test for 32% as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do. Just Caley knows full well, oh my goodness, I'm up against, a flirt savant here of varied proportions.
Yeah. Keep in mind, KrazyCaley has already won his spy game for this set. So.
Yeah. By the way, demanding a drink at the bar. Yep. And he's on it. Wow.
Wow.
Catches the demand.
That was an impressive shot.
That really is. Good job there.
Let that be a lesson to everyone that's rude to bartenders, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, man. By the way, give Toby a tip. Work for a different party. This one's pretty dangerous. Just get out of the business, Toby.
And magician, apparently.
Yeah. Abolish diamond, ladies and gentlemen. It's possible that was a misclick, by the way. I mentioned this to Dowsy while we were playing some practice games. I've never deliberately demanded in a single game, casual or otherwise, but I did it against him by accident with a quick double click, which can happen sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever seen Kaylee deliberately demand either.
Yeah, I think that might have been a misclick, but whether it is or not, still, you got to figure on Modern of all places to get shot.
Yeah. Last game of the match. KCM on the spy side, Kaylee on the sniper. There's the bug off the top, completely clean.
Yep, that is pure, maybe they could have bugged territory. That's all it is. That looks like they could have bugged, but you're going to have 5 or 6 of those on every Modern game.
Yeah, and I think the ambassador came up to us, not the other way around. There's no way there's any heat from that from Kaylee.
This would be the time to bust it out. I know it feels... KCM is not the kind of guy who would think of ties, but I'll say it for him. If he can win this game here, after some of the things that have happened, after that balcony game, after losing a sniper game, rather, to Kaylee even, that would be a huge victory and put him in a really good position down the stretch.
First flirt comes off, red book in hand. The bug has already happened. Still 3 minutes left to play. This is an amazing start for KCM, who's fighting for a draw from the spy side of Modern. But this is the position you want to be in.
I would not put the book back in right now, unless it's to red. Yes, okay. So I really think Kaylee is onto this. Oh, microfilm is the way he's going to get me.
Yeah. Animation transfer comes off the red bookcase. It's a scary spot to do it because that right hand is facing the sniper, but the green test makes it work out.
Yeah, I think that was the right choice. And that was the hard one, so to speak. Now you can go to blue or green, particularly green if that conversation is full later in the game. And that's going to be hard to shoot for late in the game, especially if you time it to late party activity. Some more statue visitors, not bad. Let's see how many low lights he gets.
Contact 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ooh,
6, 7, 8.
He's
9?
making. I think there's no,
7.
and I think at least 1 or 2 of those. Look, Kaylee's got a tremendous memory, but I think a couple of those were more like high probability lowlights. I don't think they split. In other words,
7 lowlights. KCM stepping into green bookcase
Big
here.
moment
I guess Kaylee might have just felt like he was behind and decided to go for it.
Yeah.
Not able to hit the difficult fingerprint now that Alice is here, but
that would have been big. Is he gonna do it? Oh, okay. So that was interesting. Kaylee left that viewing angle open so he could see Queen at green bookshelves, and the second she left, he moved.
Yeah.
I think he might be onto this a little bit. When I go back, and by the way, once again, he's giving him a lot of credit for the books. He's not direct transferring or microfilming right away. He's gonna do it when he goes back. Here it comes.
Well, that was probably partly just to get into Alice's spot, get the better cover. There's the green test. It's clean.
Totally
Kaylee
clean.
was looking over at the purloin business.
Yep. And now you can flirt in purloin. Although Kaylee, we remember in that last game, he got a ton of lowlights off the.
Tons of lowlights off of the contact in this game as well. KrazyCaley is in a difficult position here, but he's doing everything he can to pull himself back into this. This is still a dominant position from KCM. Here's the delegate coming off. Let's see how this goes.
Against anyone else, I think KCM was in a tremendous position, but Kaylee's already whittled the party down. This is a really, really good spy game. Really good sniper game countering.
Here's the problem though. We only have 1 flirt. It's 30 seconds left to play. This second flirt is not going to be enough because we only have 34%. It is green. That gets us up to 85. I think we're going to have to delegate to the seduction target and chase him.
That would be something. Chase him to bar. That's the plan. It's a pretty good move. But I think Kaylee's going to be on this. I think Kaylee's going to be on this.
I think you're right. It's going to be overtime. 10 seconds already.
Uh-oh, not getting there quick enough. There's going to be just enough time.
5 seconds. Here's the
Is
flirt.
it going to go? Is it going to take?
Flirt's off.
It does take.
It hangs at 0 for a moment.
Overtime. What's he doing?
Overtime.
Who's it going to be?
What do you do?
2 seconds left. 2 seconds left.
Wow.
Wow.
That was a 10-second overtime. He didn't shoot.
That's unbelievable. I don't understand. I felt preemptively bad for KCM, thinking, what a long overtime. He's got so long to decide. He's going to puzzle it out. And he just couldn't do it. He was just so flummoxed. Oh my goodness! So this happened to me.
0.6 second overtime, no shot.
Wow, that's incredible. You have to shoot. You have to shoot before then. My God. Okay, so I mentioned that when I played KCM a few weeks ago, we played Modern against me, and I told you he seemed very comfortable on it. Right? He was getting very good, and he had one of those ghost games. And if you've ever played KCM at his best, you know what I mean by ghost game, where the mission screen pops up, or there's overtime or something, and you're like, how? How could anyone be done? It's like a punch in the face. It's amazing, and you just sit back and you just tip your cap and you say, well, that's KCM playing his best spy game, and you're not going to beat that very often. That was this game. It was just how can anyone be done? I don't accept it. And when he swung around to the left there and saw Queen at bar, it's funny, he was just taking a drink innocuously at the end. Oh my goodness, what a move. That was the spy game he wanted to play all night.
I felt so bad for KCM because I saw, Caley, like, when the overtime started, like, Caley made this, like, movement with the camera, like, wait, this doesn't make sense. And then I thought, like, well, I might as well pull the trigger, and Queen's the closest person to my crosshairs. And I was like, please don't lose this way.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought, oh my God, I don't see how he's going to shoot anyone else after the first few seconds. So who's it going to be? It's going to be KCM by default, right? With like 2 seconds left after that long overtime. That's what I thought. But now, after all that, think back to that balcony game, Tobo. That was the difference between between not just a win, but a 2 spy win almost.
Man, like, here's the thing. If anyone is capable of getting spy wins by KrazyCaley consistently, it's KCM.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just blown away by this set.
No, he's the only one. He's the only one who has with any regular.
Yeah. Ryu3K in the chat said it better than I possibly could. This set was frickin' legendary.
That was incredible. I think what's interesting is that KCM clearly had a very good game plan, but we saw in Veranda, it just got kind of sabotaged by some of those decisions there. The early time ad means that we never got to see what that opening Veranda game was going to be.
Oh, yes.
But we did see a very clear tendency towards microfilm in particular. So here's the thing. If these two happen to meet again, and you're Caley, you're thinking, what do I ban against this guy? Because there's Gallery, which I know he loves. There's Balcony, which, I got to split this time, but it was really close. He basically played well enough to win 3 out of 4 in 2 consecutive matches on Balcony. And then on Modern, where KCM seems to be gaining strength on Modern every time I see him play it. He seems a little better. Because KCM is, one of the things that makes his spy so good is his pacing and his timing and his party sense. And those are really hard attributes for anyone to have. They're the attributes that take the longest in, like, real world time to harness and improve and whittle down and sharpen. And it's just such a big map. That's the map that benefits most from those attributes, from the things that KCM does best. It's easy for me to imagine that this ends up being one of his best maps when all said and done.
I think that's
a
great place. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Caley's talking a little bit in chat. And he's saying exactly what we said about Balkan. He's like, wait a second, no one's talking. No one's talking.
Who do I shoot? No one's talking.
Yep, and just through sheer process of elimination, even if the Emma, by the way, had left a couple seconds earlier and walked by someone else, literally 76 consecutive things had to happen for that game to go the way it did, but it did. So, you're Caley. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this. Caley's sitting there thinking, he probably feels good he got away with a draw then. Because he was clearly confused on 2 sniper games, at least 2 sniper games. 2 that we know of. And came out with a tie.
Indeed. So I'm setting up for the next match, which is going to be Plastics versus Dowsy, a challenger match, to kind of finish things out.
Can I just apologize in advance that we played them? I know that couldn't be helped. These are still going to be good games. There's going to be a lot to talk about. But my God, you just got to sit back and just applaud. Just the highest of high-level play. And last time, even though it was dramatic, Tobo and Hummus, you remember it went back and forth. It was a 4-0 lead followed by a comeback, and that's great to watch. But we didn't get what we really wanted, which was some of the best in the world, right? Maybe the 2 best in the world. punching the crap out of each other back and forth. Great game countered by great game. That's what we want so much. We love to say it every week. We don't want to see people lose games. We want to see people win them. That's what we saw tonight. We saw people win games.
Indeed.
That set was as good as the season 3 final, I tell you.
Oh man,
It was.
If you haven't seen the season 3 final, it's on YouTube. Go watch it. Should we get into the next one?
Let's